Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Gulfstream today. Ron Nicoletti along with Brian Nato. It is Sunday morning. See what we got with the track conditions right now. It looks like it's sealed. Of course, we got the all-weather Tapeta. And, Brian, really exciting day yesterday.
Yeah, a lot to look back on, a lot to look forward to. But the neither Sire Stakes disappointed. And in a golf clap to Awesome Strong, you and I just watched it. We'll show it in the lightning round. We just watched it in the office. Boy, he did it the hard way, too. And, of course, atomically was really, really good and ran a lot faster than the boys, too.
Yeah, it's amazing. It was good races. And, you know, the mandatory payout in Rainbow Six will also talk about that in the lightning round. Paid like $1,400 or thereabouts. So that's all the early action we got. So we're starting that Rainbow Six over anew with a $50,000 gross jackpot guaranteed. Kicks off in race number 5 with this 10-race card on Sunday afternoon, Sunday morning now, but it will be Sunday afternoon when that kicks off. The first race today is about 1 mile, 70 yards on the Tapeta. Maiden claim is 3 and up, 16,000. Scratch the 2 and scratch the 8. And please note there's a jockey change on the number 6, Bluto's Candy. Make that rider MSCL Jaramillo. And it looks like Sonny Leon might be still traveling because he's named on horses later on, coming back from Kentucky.
Yeah, Rich Strike ran very, very well yesterday. Backed up that good Travers run as well. So, you know, we're just get off topic a little bit. Good for him because I think he was poo-pooed a lot for that Derby win. That was crazy, but I think he's backed it up. Good for him.
He ran good yesterday. It was a little weird in the stretch, but he certainly ran very, very well. He got beat this much by a really good horse. So we'll see how it plays out. And Sonny Leon, like we said, will be back probably later this afternoon. We'll keep Pete will keep you up on all that stuff. The first race today, as I mentioned, 1 mile 70. So Brian put together a early pick 5 ticket.
You won't have to dig too deep on this one, Ronnie. $12 here, a little different than my later one, but we'll get to this opener in a second. And in race 2, I've got the 6 singled in there. That is No Man Left Behind. 4 deep in race 3 with the 1 Anamnestic on top. It didn't spell check for me, so it's a real word. I'm not familiar with it. Classy Boys, my best bet of the day. Dave Fox, second-time starter. Enough said there. And then 2, 8, 12 is that order in race 5. And try a little price with Cupid Austin.
Yeah, we're almost in agreement with our selections. I don't know what order you have them in. We'll find that out right now. Probably exactly like mine. First race today is, I went with the inside horse take. My shot is dropping into a better situation today after setting the pace and tiring when facing 40 maiden optional claimers going a mile in the 16 for Scott Acker. And you're going to get the apprentice, Jason Huey, handling that drop down.
Yeah, I mean, he makes a lot of sense in here. To be completely honest, I didn't want to pick him. He's 0 for 15, but the drop is a big one. He was in for 40 last time. You look at the race 2 back for a quarter, and that's going to beat this field pretty handily. He just didn't do any running last time after kind of being pressured on the lead, and we've talked about, you know, where you want to be routing on the Tapeta. If he susses out as the inside speed, which it kind of looks like he will, I was just maybe a little leery of him because you know he's going to be betting here, Ron.
You know, the number is 7 strong again. We just got our exact flip-floppers. Another getting some needed class relief. He tracked the pace, finished 5th in a pair of $25,000 claimers. You know, I just thought this was a logical start. Liam McCannis, this sophomore, everyone in this race is a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen all the time, so you don't have to deal with that. They're all 3-year-olds.
That's a good point. And, you know, very quietly, Leon had a pretty good Royal Palm meet, winning some races, 6 of them to be exact. And he's done a good job. He's got a pretty decent handle on the Tapeta as well. You can see it there, 16%. So this is a barn to kind of pay attention to as now we get, you know, in this Sunshine meet. And this is a horse that's run very well, and he's outside the favorite, too.
What about this number 4, Eden Paradise? Did you want to go back and show it?
We've got a video here. This horse is a little slow on paper, okay? So I didn't use this horse. It would be $18 if you want to pop him in. Here he is kind of out the back here, and he broke slow this day, too. Now, this is key, too, because this is a Tapeta race, obviously. And he didn't really run in the slop last time. He's going to have a little trouble here entering the far turn. You're going to check. He's not even in your picture yet. He's kind of checking out of it a little bit, and he's in traffic, and there he is. Thanks, Bob. And now he's kind of in between horses a little bit. You're going to see him check just a little bit. Idle, I guess, would be the word, too. And then I thought, Ron, when he did get clear sailing late, and he's still in a little tricky spot here in between horses. I don't know if he really wanted to run through or poke through there. I thought when he did get clear sailing, to his credit, he ran on a little bit. He is facing better today. That's why I left him in 3rd, and I didn't put him on the ticket. But if he can get clear sailing, I do think back on the Tapeta, it's a better trip for him today.
And the number 6 horse in here, Bluto's Candy, the one that's going to be ridden by MSCL Jaramillo's wheeling back with the ability to grab a share. Wide open race. Dan Hertak, in the Calder Hall of Fame. Excellent trainer will be in the saddle.
Well, we're going to talk more about trainer Danny Hertak a little bit later on with Smiling Tuffles, but, this horse can get a piece underneath.
Race number 2 this afternoon, about a mile in the 16th on the Topita. Claimers 3 and up, non-winners of 2. 12-5, no scratches in here. And I think this was one of your singles in here. No man left behind. Number 6 is dropping to the 12-5 level today.
Yeah, Safi's been dropping some stock maybe to call the barn a little bit. And this horse just looks better than this group. He's been facing tons better than this group. The blinkers will go on. I guess I'll throw it back to you because I know you came up with a stat today on this one as well.
Yeah, just wanted to see. I was interested to see what Safi does with the first-time blinkers, all levels. He's 16 for 81, 20%. That's usually what his angles are, 20%, 43% in the money, $1.39 is the return of investment. So just something I wanted to throw out there to see. Exactly, some trainers you do, and it comes up there 50% with first-time blinkers. But that's usually Safi's angles with all the stuff, 20, 25, 30%, which is excellent.
Yeah, and the ROI, me personally, you hear me say this a lot, and I'm typically a horizontal guy. So obviously the ROI is $1.39. Obviously that's not very good, but we're talking about the leading trainer here at Gulfstream Park. You're always going to get an underlay at Safi. What I look at the percentages because now I know this is a solid angle for the barn. I can single this horse. I don't care about this horse's price in that early pick 5, and that's why I singled him.
The number 7 Dunnigan is another dropper to this level after stepping up off the $20,000 claim by Rohan Crichton and showing really zilch when he against those 16 starter optional claimers going a mile 70 on the Topita. So it's a bit of a shaky drop down for me.
It's very worrisome because, Bobby DeBona had this horse humming right along, and we know how good Bobby is. And Rohan's like 38% off the claim. Yeah. This horse did not zilch, as my partner said here. This horse didn't run at all last time, and now he claimed him for 20, 2 back. Here he is for 12.5. I don't know what we're going to get today, Ron, to be quite honest with you, because that was not a good effort.
Yeah, and I think those are the logical two in the race. I threw in Shipwreck. You had the 4 Hay Porter, to close out the try, and Supers in that race. Race number 3 this afternoon, about a mile 70 yards on the Topita. That's 3 straight so far on the all-weather Topita here. This one is about a mile 70, maiden special weight, state bred, 2-year-old. Scratch the number 7 horse, Kohaku, out of there. And I did, too, also go with the number 1, Amanestic, who was going to depart from the rail, who showed marked improvement last time out when trainer Kelsey Danner added blinkers on that son of Bouchero.
Yeah, and I think that's it, right? I mean, just look at the race with the blinkers to, draw lines through the other 2. That really, really signaled a huge improvement. And Lights on Broadway comes back and wins the stakes last week. So this is a live race. I know you like that angle. It's right there in front of you. And I would think if this horse only run 3 times, only run twice on the Topita, twice routing as well, still got some upside. And also, those open company maiden races, Ron, now we're in with Florida Breds.
What'd you see with the number 3 Universal Hero? Here's one that's going to be ridden by Sonny Leone if he makes it back. Mark Cassie.
Yeah, and I think Sonny wants to make it back for this one because, this is another open maiden dropper in with the Florida Breds today. He comes out of that race that Lights on Broadway one, was well behind the one. Obviously, we've got to make up some ground on that one. He gets off the rail. I think that helps too. And he was on the rail last time, and I didn't think the rail was a very good place to be. This horse lost 3 or 4 lengths at the start too.
Well, the number 6, Ensign Skip, he's back with maidens going a mile and 70 yards on the Topita after proving no match for undefeated Awesome Strong, who won yesterday, as we saw, going 7 furlongs on the dirt. That was in the Florida Sire Affirmed. Laura Cesares has Leonel Reyes handling the surface switch this afternoon. Hey, gave the horse a shot.
Well, how about this? The horse he was 3rd to on the Topita, 2 back, was Tigre, who was running late yesterday.
Yeah, he's 2nd at 70-1, I believe.
On 7 days rest. Yeah. So a very, very good effort. Back-to-back stakes placings for Tigre. So Ensign Skip comes out of a very good race. You just easily draw a line through the Affirmed on the dirt. Look at that Topita race 2 back. At place here.
Let's go to race number 4 this afternoon. This one is about 5.5 furlongs on the Topita, so one more, 4 in a row on the Topita today. Maiden claim at 2-year-olds, 35,000. Scratch the 1 horse here, Poker at Night at Tom's. interesting name for a horse. He'll run some other day. Well, the guy who owns it is Tom, so
Okay.
you got to say that. And Classy Boy, drop it to the 30. This was your other single, I believe.
This was.
Yeah, Classy Boy, drop it to the 35 level, moving to the Topita for David Forks, who we just keep mentioning in his stat every day. And he keeps getting better every day.
This is the your board angle. I got to hit you in the head with the board here. David is 34% with second-time starters, and the ROI is predictably over $3 because when you win 34%, your ROI is huge. This horse didn't run on debut. I get that, but there was the bouncer race. We've talked about that race quite a bit. It was a pretty live and productive race. It was also a weird race. Kind of everybody blew the turn that race, and a few of them came up the inside. This drop is huge. We're drawn well outside, and I don't know about these firsters, Ron, and the one scratched out. I was against him. I don't know. You've got the 3 in second. I've got him in third. I'm against this horse, too.
Yeah, Extender's the son of Handsome Mike, the number 3, firing bullets over the Palm Meadows training track in preparation for his career debut for Carlos David. Not one of Carlos's biggest angles, but like the work tab, MSC Al Harami has been riding in great form since we changed barns over the last couple of days, not barns, meets, I should say. And maybe this horse gets interested early in here. It's a bit of guesswork.
0 for 13 debuting, and we can't try this horse in a maiden special weight? That's a little odd to me. Bullets, as you mentioned, they paid 25 for this horse. He's in for 35. It's not a huge negative, but you would just think maybe we try him in a special weight. I don't know. I'm willing to fade this horse today.
Yeah, and 2 midnight getaway drops after that so-so pair.
Yeah.
Sprinting against maiden special weight. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll have my Rainbow Six Tiqueta.
Probably the most beautiful racetrack in the country, to be honest with you.
The background is just beautiful.
I love Gulfstream Park because of the grandstand and the racing.
The weather is beautiful. The facility is phenomenal.
The Gulfstream Championship meet has become one of the top events of the year. You could come out on a Wednesday and see a future Preakness winner.
They're off in the Preakness.
Got the unique 6.5 down the hillside turf course.
A whole lot of great racing here in California.
And we're off.
We have all 3 surfaces here, the only racetrack in the country to have all 3 surfaces. Being close to the ocean, being surrounded by some of the greatest horses and riders in history, it's amazing.
It's the prettiest thing you've ever seen. There's no one else has a background like we do.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today, Ron and Brian. 5th race this afternoon. About 5 furlongs on the Topita. Claimers, fillies, and mares 3 and up. Nominators of 2 in life, 12-5 down to 10. Full field of 12. We're going to scratch the also eligible number 13, La Brody. But the big field to start off the Rainbow Six, and it starts off again with that $50,000 gross jackpot guarantee. Got a $32.40 ticket. We'll check it out right now. We're going to talk about the 5th race in a minute. I'm going with Cosi and Don't Mess with Tess in race number 6. In race number 7, that's my single today. The 5, Allura Moore, is my best bet. In there for Steve Dwoskin, 3rd off the bench. Race number 8, got my long shot in there, the great Kath. 10-1 on the morning line for Cesar Figueroa, but I used, full disclosure, a neophyte on my ticket. In race number 9, it's a nice race here. I did go with Red Crescent, but you can go with Pudding, and certainly Smiling Twofold's going for its 3rd consecutive victory. And in the last, I just went with horses that I thought will last the best, 1, 2, and 6, Tora Laura Solaire, and Artificial Intel. 32.40 for me today, Brian.
I like it, and we've talked about this quite a bit on the day after or early in this Rainbow Six before we really amp it up, and we got those guarantees. We're in the 550s. Well, we're at 50 today. This is a great time to jump in. You get a couple prices. You are eligible to sweep this thing.
Yeah, and if you have a couple of singles, I mean, the ticket's not even that affordable. It doesn't cost you that much money. So getting to this 5th race, about 5 furlongs on the Topita once again. Claimers, fillies, and mares 3 and up, 12-5. Done was a 2, 12-5 to 10. Straight numbers of 2 in here. You went with the number 2 horse, Cupid Austin. So let's start with your horse in here.
You know what, Ron? I took a shot at a price in here. I think this horse ran okay last time. Now we're facing winners for the first time last time. And, you know, that can be a rude awakening. You look at those big figure Tapeta races, 2, 3, and 4 back. Didn't run poorly. He was only beaten 4 lengths last time, in for 12.5. Now we go off to claim for Rafael Romero. It's 1 for 3. It's not an angle, but he's shown he can do it at least. I think there's a lot of speed in this race. And I think, you know, he's going to be a square price too, and that's kind of what I was looking for.
I went with the number 3 in here, Veloce Bello, who's dropping to the 12.5 level after moving to the Jorge Delgado bond via the claim. A $35,000 claim in June and showing speed and fading against 20 state bred, so dropping down. But I wanted to see the stat with Jorge Delgado, what he does with 50% drop in claiming price over the last couple of years, 11 for 43, 26%, 58% in the money, 167. So he knows where to place him. That's what I would say. You know, when you get it, the horse is not running at a certain level, good time to drop him. So that one, Chantal Sutherland, handle is bit of a dubious drop down.
A little bit, because this horse didn't run last time. Now he was facing a month better. She was, excuse me, I get that. Chantel was the first person I saw coming into the office today on the golf cart, so maybe that's a good sign for you. This horse is probably in front, and they probably have to catch her. Boy, she backed up, though, last time.
The only reason I didn't put 12 Miracle Drug on top of my ticket because of the post. I wasn't that enamored with it. The Irish bred. This horse drops to the 12.5 level, breaks from the outside, stepped off the claim by Jose D'Angelo, and was not bad. Finished 5th against 35 condition claimants, going 5.5. Sonny Leone handles the drop down. I think that my personal, I flip-flop between the 3 and the 12. Not, you know, and post made me put it this way.
I got a big circle around that 12.5 with a big question mark because this horse ran okay, as Ronnie said, for 35, claimed for 22 back, okay for 35, take me now for 12.5. So, you know what? It is what it is. Ronnie's right. That outside draw is doing nobody any favors in here as well. So tread very lightly. And, oh, by the way, you're going to get a short price, too.
And the number 8, which you've loved, this one is stepping up to face what is after using her speed to defeat the 16 maidens, going 5 on the Tapeta. Speed has been good when you're going short on the over the surface, and MSCL Haramia is certainly going to get this horse interested early. It's a daughter of Anchor Down.
She ran well last time. She was the only horse all day on the Tapeta that won on the inside. So I do elevate her a little bit, but boy, there's other speed in here like we've talked about.
Let's go to race number 6. This one about 1 mile, 70 yards. Once again on the Tapeta, claimers, fillies, and mares 3 and up, $10,000. Scratch the number 6 horse in here, La Rusia. And Brian's got his late pick 5 ticket to show you.
Yeah, I mentioned an early one, very cheap, late one a little more, and to be honest with you, I could have spent more on here, but we try to keep it at a reasonable. We'll get to this race in a second. 3 deep in race 7. Soul Hope at a little bit of a speed pop, I hope. On top in race 8, down inside to Toretto in race 9, my long shot play of the day, and Ronnie hit it at it. This is an awesome race. I'm taking a shot with Untitled, who's working out of this world in the morning. We'll talk more about this race. Here's the single at the end, Ronnie. Boston Princess, to me, is a very, very short number in there, getting back to the Tapeta.
$48. Lots of good coverage in there. Getting back to race number 6, about 1 mile 70 on the Tapeta. I went, Brian, with the number 7, Cosi, who's going to try and make it 2 in a row after responding last time to the drop down to this level with a victory. Now, was the favorite that day against similar competition. Aubrey Mirage is the trainer. He's solid, winning consecutive races, and he's got Romero Mirage going for 2 in a row. I just kept going back to this horse. You know, I just thought he was the one to beat in spot.
Well, there's no doubt about it. And Aubrey plays this game so well, spotting these horses in the right places. And she ran very, very well for 10 last time, claimed her for 12.5, and now he's got the win kind of out of the way. They've gotten out in plenty on this horse. I think she's very, very dangerous. I love this post for her, too. And I love her style, too. We'll show those stats a little bit later on from Horse Racing Nation, but she's got that right stalking style.
And what about the number 3 I had a little further down, and that's Brody's Honor. Comes out of a key race that produced a couple of next out winners.
Yeah, it's a jazzy tee for Bobby DeBona again. This is just absolutely streaking, and she ran so well last time when she blew the start. This horse is coming out of way better races, Ron. And, you know, Jose D'Angelo's done a good job with her, and she's paid her way. So the drop, to me, it's not that big of a deal. Blinkers come off today. It's not a huge angle for the barn, but I'm expecting a better effort on this big drop.
The number one horse in here I have some interest in, Don't Mess with Tess, is stepping up to face 10 open claimers after I thought a trio of sharp outings against those $8,000 condition claimers going around 2 turns on the Tapeta, which includes that recent wire-to-wire victory. So that's against what the stats say here. So I thought that was good, and I found a stat on Carlos David over the last couple of years. Winner last out, all levels, 25 for 123, 20%, 53% in the money. 134 is the return of investment. So good performance. Miguel Vasquez certainly adds to the appeal.
Listen, you said it. She was against the profile of the course, wiring, routing on Tapeta. And I'll tell you what, we haven't mentioned the pace of this race. She's loose in here, I think, right?
Yeah, I think that. I thought she was the speed in there. And the number 2, Serenade, a Kitten, who we both have, cuts back, rallied to finish third, going 8.5 on the Tapeta. First off the claim, Oscar Gonzalez didn't have that good of a summer meet, but this is a good trainer. He's going to come back, and he's going to do it with Edgar Zayas.
Yeah, and she wasn't that far behind the 7 Cosi last time, so, she doesn't have that much to make up on her.
Race number 7 this afternoon, 6 furlongs on the main track. Allowance optional claimer, state bred, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, optional claiming price, $20,000. And here is where my best bet is today. I know you wanted to show a thing. Well, let's show the thing, and then I'll talk about it. The video, not a thing. The video.
Thing. We'll show the thing about the thing here. Allura Moore, let's say that quickly, ran well last time because she had a trip. Here she is, the 2 horse, okay? And she checks a little bit here. She was chasing a horse in CR. Poema is in this race as well. Here she is, Poema, and she absolutely bottomed out of field 2 back. Now we're going to lose key position here. We're going to drop back to last. You're chasing a freakishly fast horse. Now watch her down inside, too. Good stuff. She's going to be really coming tight here a little bit, too, when she tried to kind of get up in there. I don't know if she was going to win this race, Ron, but she definitely had a trip. She definitely would have been closer. Look at this. Woo, steady there a little bit, too. Chasing a really good horse. There's no Poemas in here today. Now she finally gets through. I thought all things considered, this was a pretty solid effort. Now, obviously, we need clear sailing today. Hopefully she gets it. Very, very dangerous. Steve Dwoskin and Miguel, they teamed them up together 21%.
Well, I'm going to key off her race a little while back. She broke her maiden by 8.5 lengths, going 6 furlongs out on the dirt. That was last September. Turns back, you saw that race right there. Finished third versus this level, going 7/8. Steve Dwoskin, Miguel Vasquez, usually fruitful third start back from the extended layoff. I'm glad you showed that race. And I just think I'm keen off that race last September. I thought that horse was pretty good, had its troubles along the way. Maybe it comes back and runs well today. I don't know if this is he the morning line favorite in here?
No, down inside.
3-1. Good, still 3-1's a good price. You did go with the number 3 horse in here, Soul Hope.
I'm just going to try to pop this field. It's as simple as that. This horse is very, very fast, and there's not a lot of speed in this race. Not that we've really talked about. And she wants to go. And some of these other horses that have or have not shown speed, they're not defined front runners. She wants to go. Lionel knows how to read the racing form. He's so good at putting these horses in the right spots. Mary Leitner, a high percentage barn, doesn't start a lot of horses. Spots are stocked very, very well. Let's just break running, take a deep breath, and maybe she lasts.
Yeah, I think Allura Moore is going to be the one up there with that horse. I don't know who's, when the smoke clears, who's going to be in front. The horse that's the morning line favorite, and rightly so in here, is the number 1 Rosie's Halo, stepping up to face winners after stalking 4 wide to defeat those 40 maiden optional claimers, going 6 furlongs on the main track for Safi. You know how good Safi, we just talked about, all his angles are good. Edgar Zayas, daughter of Jess's Dream, but I think this one cost $4,000 or something.
Yeah, I don't. Jess's Dream stands for 4,000. I don't know. She's all out at 3 to 5, Ronnie, to win, and she's come from 6. She's not going to come from 6 and beat this field today. She better be closer today. She's at the rail, facing winners for the first time. Listen, Safi blew me out of the pick 6 with picking up pennies yesterday at 2 to 1 when I said I had no use for her. This horse, I'm very comfortable making her beat me. If she does, we'll golf clap again.
And just quickly, Gitana, the number 6, dropping a level after stalking the pace, finishing third against 25 optional claimers, going 6 on the dirt for Rohan. He's got his go-to jock, and that's a definite horse. Try super, like Brian saw it, and I saw it, so maybe you do something like that. Race number 8 this afternoon. is about 5.5 furlongs on the Tapeta. So we're back on the Tapeta for race number 8. It's an allowance optional claimer for state-bred 3-year-olds and upward. And I have my long shot in here, and that is the number 7. So I'll start it off with that. Also have a stat. The Great Cat, 10-1 in the morning line. A winner at this level, 2 starts back, drops, rallied to finish second, was beaten a half length, but that was against 32,000 starter optional claimers, going 5.5 furlongs on the all-weather. Cesar Figueroa, here's where I found the stat, just over the past year, with his Tapeta runners, all levels right here at Gulfstream Park. He's good, 6 for 23, 26%, 48% in the money, positive return of investment. Just all his horses have seemed to run well, and I wanted to narrow it down, see between Dirt and Tapeta how he would run.
Well, Ron, he said it. All of his horses have been running well. He's been putting them in the right spots. This is really not a barn. You know, you don't see the barn running 4 horses a day, but it has been very, very high percentage, and everything has run. So I think as we switch meets now, and as Ron said earlier, the stats kind of refresh themselves in the racing form. These are the type of barns. Ray Yanez down inside. We'll talk about him in a second. These are the type of barns to pay attention to. Limited sample, high percentage barns.
And you went on top with the inside horse for Rayona's Toretto.
Yeah, exactly. Ray Yanez is very, very sharp, but very much like Cesar Figueroa. Not going to start a lot of horses, going to put him in the right spot. You see he claimed this one 2 back for 20 from Rohan Crichton, who seemingly got some improvement, at least figure-wise. Wara has been streaking of late. I mean, she's absolutely, you know, he's absolutely aired in his last 2 starts. That was a really fast level. If you run a 78 buyer and you get beaten 4.5 lengths, that's a really fast race. So I think Toretto has been in very, very good form. Saved some ground down inside. We're going to be close. We're not going to let anybody get too far away. I'll try this one. This is a tough race, Ron.
I know you want to show a video with Exchange Day and Be by the Sea.
Yeah, you know what? I kind of faded both of these horses, but this is a race that you have to pay attention to. And here's Exchange Day, the 2, Be by the Sea. Right away, Exchange Day. And we've talked about these sprints on the Tapeta. You can't lose 2 or 3 lengths at the start. It's really, really problematic to be. It's going to be tough to run these horses down. Be by the Sea's got a big jump on this one. Be by the Sea's going to be beaten a length. Here we are coming into the far turn. And Exchange Day's not even in your, barely in your picture now. Thanks, Bob. Good job. And here's Be by the Sea getting first run. I thought Exchange Day, all things considered, with the trip this horse had, ran huge, Ron. I would hope at least, you know, here's Eddie Plesa and Kevin Krieger. You put them together, they're 25, 26%. I would think if she breaks running, she's a lot closer today. These are horses to factor in. We've got Neophyte and Full Disclosure with the huge figures last time. I put them in the mix, but, you know, I don't know. This is a tough race. This is a separator kind of race to me.
Yeah, talking about that number 5 Full Disclosure is going to try these state-bred allowance optional claimers. Game score last time against on the all-weather against 35 claimers for Liz Doble. You know how good she does. She's almost 20% winning consecutive races. Neophyte, as you mentioned, going to try and turn the tables on Full Disclosure.
Yeah, I mean, that's the race to look at because that was the first time Liz ran this horse on the Tapeta, and he freaked. I know he won by a neck over Neophyte, but that was a really, really fast race, 86 buyer, 85 buyer, if that's your thing. I don't know, Ron. I kind of feel like these 2 horses come back a little bit today.
Well, the feature race today is a really nice one, and it is race number 9, 6 furlongs, allowance optional claimer, 3-year-olds and up. They're running the optional tag is $62,500. And, oh, you went, this is where your long shot is, right? Untitled? Yeah. And he is, what, 15-1? I'm liking it.
What year is it? Untitled. He's back. We haven't seen him since September of 2021. There's a lot going on here, and I don't really know any of it, but the thing I really liked, Ron, he's not in for a tab, okay? He went off form, obviously, and something clearly went amiss, but Mark Cassidy and Nick and the team seem to have this horse absolutely raring to go. You know, he's been working bullets. Look at these. Gate Drill 47, 59-3 up at Palmettos. This was on his day, Ron. This horse was all right. You know this. I mean, this horse was a Triple Crown horse. Didn't work out, obviously, but here he is off this crazy long layoff. Edwin Gonzalez is here, main man for the barn. And I think it's significant he's not in for a tag today. So, listen, I'm throwing it at the wall and seeing if it sticks. It's a tough race.
No, and I remember when he ran second to Gouverneur Morris, who was a buddy of ours. Clark Spence owned part of that horse. So we were all watching that race up at Tampa. You make it. That's a great long shot right there. I went with a horse in it's a little bit of a price at 9 to 2, I believe, on the morning line. That's Red Crescent, turning back to 3/4 of a mile, returned from a 20-month layoff to finish second at 41-1 against this level of competition, going 7 furlongs. That sounds, well, maybe okay. But then you see John Vincent, Luca Panici gets the return call. I love the work that John Vincent does. Doesn't start many horses here, but he is a good horseman.
Yeah, this is the wild card, right? Because this horse was not supposed to run last time like he did, and he ran huge. You know, John Vincent's a guy that is absolutely prolific with first-time starters, and Red Crescent kind of, sort of, in a weird way, had that angle to him last time because he's coming off such a long layoff. John does so good at preparing him. Which way does he go today? Because if he does move forward, Ron, he's as likely a winner in this race as anybody. That was a huge race because we know Gatsby came back, and he's been so good now of late, too.
Exactly. And what about the horse? We'll call this horse the Now horse, and that's the one horse in here, the Smiling Twofolds, who's stretching out to his best distance. I mean, he's a 5-time winner at this distance. He's been on a tear.
4 out of 5. Let's show you his good work here last time. Trainer Danny Hertak's done a phenomenal job with this horse. Here he is. Yes, I'm a Beast as a 4. He's in here, okay. Here's Pudding, who didn't really, I don't know if Pudding didn't fire last time or Smiling Tuffles just, you know, completely beat him on the square. And Hall of Famer Edgar Prados teamed up with him and done some really good work as well. I'm going to tell you what, Smiling Tuffles is in raging form right now. You can see it on his page. He makes any kind of trip. If you want to run away from him, he'll run you down. If you want to go a little slower early, he'll keep in close attendance with you. And Ronnie, he dominated this field last time, and this was a good group. Yes, I'm a Beast. Pudding was so good, winning 2 back over Gatsby, who came back to win. Boy, this race goes through him today.
Yeah, I didn't know what happened to Pudding in that last race. We talked to the connections afterward, and they were scratching their heads. So coming back, I like the fact this horse is coming back and maybe bounces back. I mean, he was second in the Grade 3 Smiled Sprint. You know, he's a good horse. He's made $391,000. So we'll see if he bounces back for Liz Doble with Leonel Reyes in the saddle. 10th race this afternoon, about 5.5 furlongs on the Topita. Maiden Claim is Fillies and Mares 3 and up, 12-5. Scratch the number 4 horse in here. And Brian, you like this 8 Boston Princess, 2-1 on the morning line, and probably very, very for sure.
Yeah, maybe about odds on. I mean, because you look at the 2 Topita races. Now, again, obviously the figures, we're not, do you trust them? Do you not trust them? I don't know. But this horse has run 4 times. I'm going to be kind, has not run either time on the dirt. And you look at the Topita races, has run very, very well, is going to cut back today. It's Ronnie Spats. We know how a high percentage barn this is. This, at least on paper, this horse looks about 3-5 to me.
I went with the inside horse in here. Tora Laura is hoping to make amends at 5.5. She finished that disappointing 4th at the favorite, going 5 on the Topita. Jose D'Angelo, Sonny Leone in the saddle. Solera had some interest in here for Victor Barboza Jr. I put the 8 a little down, further down on my ticket, just trying to get a bit of a price.
Yeah, me and Laura aren't hanging out anymore. You know that. She broke my heart a couple starts back, and I wonder if she's going the wrong way anyway, and the rail's not a good spot for her.
One thing about Brian, he holds a grudge, believe me. Let me tell you that. So that's the 10 races. We'll quickly go to the lightning round this afternoon. And so much great stuff going on yesterday.
Without a doubt. We got to start it off with Awesome Strong because, no pun intended, he was awesome again, and he did it the hard way. 4, 5 wide throughout, doing it. The pace completely fell apart. Here's Tigre down on the inside. Let's give him a shout out on 7 days rest. But everybody that was close early. Now, Apocalypso ran okay, don't get me wrong. But, Ron, we looked at this in the office. Everybody that was close early was nowhere late. This horse, I mean, I didn't see the Trackus or anything like that. I mean, he ran awesome.
Yeah, I mean, he's done nothing wrong yet. He's tried it, from the sprinting right up to the mile and the 16. But what about the Dear Girl victory winner atomically? This was a nice performance.
She was devastatingly good, and I'm going to give you times here as we watch this replay, okay? And the complexions of both races were much different. You see the 47 and 4, half mile. They went 46 and change, and it's all race shape, and I understand it. Here are your final times, okay? Atomically, 145.35. Awesome Strong, 146.58. Just to put it at the absolute bottom floor level, if they were in the same race, she would have won by 7 lengths.
Really?
Wow. I mean, there you go.
That's the way you did. Wow,
that's how good she was.
That's interesting. And another horse that was very impressive yesterday was Clapton.
Absolutely. I mean, he's been in such good form too, and I think this one-turn mile in the Gil Campbell here was really his thing. But I'll tell you what, Dean Delivers was, you know, to me, 3 to 5 turning for home, and Clapton came back on him, and these two kind of put on a show, and you can see him separating themselves. We got to give a shout out to your old buddy down there on the inside, Noble Drama, running on. That was a good effort for him.
Good effort for him, and Dean Delivers ran a very great race in the losing cause in there. Our best bets and long shots today. My best bet, we'd start mine up there first. Yeah, mine is Allura Moore in race number 7, 3-1. What was yours, Brian?
48, Classy Boy, number 8 in race 4.
And in my long shot is in race, there it is, race 8, the Great Cat, 10-1, Cesar Figueroa.
Untitled for me in race 9. We're going to dust him off and hope he breaks running and bottoms out the field.
Okay. You know, we had all this stuff going on there, but one of our old buddies, Antonio Santa, went up to Laurel, and it was very interesting what happened up there.
Laurel Futurity, and he does it with Congruent, a $350,000 son of Tappet. You probably can pick him out because he's the gray down there on the inside, doing it the hard way. And Antonio and Tammy Bobo have teamed up for some big success. They paid, like I said, $350 for this horse as a 2-year-old earlier in the year, and I got a feeling we're going to see him down here in the championship meet, Ronnie.
Well, anybody named Tammy Bobo, you sort of have to root for them. You know, they do an incredible job with the horses they breed, claim, it's just amazing. And the Rainbow Six, it was a good day. I was surprised it paid this much. I mean, if you could have, went a little different ways, just 1 or 2. I had 4, you had 5, you said?
Yeah.
But paid $1,400, and you had, Awesome Strong in this situation. So did you get a free square with that horse?
Yeah, it's a big number. I mean, when you get almost $2 million in the pool, that's what happens. And, it was a sequence where if you bobbed and weaved or you had some opinions like you did with Atomically, I did with Awesome Strong, it was there for you. It wasn't there for you and I, unfortunately. But, Ron, you look at those horses, nothing crazy happened at all for $1,400.
And they bet $1.4 million new money in that yesterday, so that was good.
On a 20-cent bet, too. No, it's not $1.
Yeah, it's not a bet. So that's it for us. Good luck with all your selections today. And that Rainbow Six starting anew, and like we always say, this is one of the days you take a look because you can hit it with a, maybe a $16 ticket or something like that. So we'll be back for race number 1.
The Thoroughbred Aftercare Alliance is really the vehicle for the transition for our racehorses coming off the track into a second career and safe environment for these horses when they're done racing. I've been passionate about racehorses my whole life, animals in general, and without the TAA to provide that oversight, there would be a big void in terms of making sure that we have this ongoing safe environment for our off-the-track racehorses. I'm excited about the undertaking and excited about working with our board and our team at the TAA to continue the wonderful progress that has been made. So I'm very excited about what the future holds.